Hello, my name is Kemal Husadi. I'm from 1211. I'm presents 13 and I'm from group 1.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Muhammad Ilham Hazetra from 12-1, number 19.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fathurrahman from 12 Science 1 and from absent 21.
Everyone, my name is Rafi Rabbani F from 12 Science 1, number 26.
Hello everyone, we are from group 1 and from 12 Science 1 and we are here to bring a horror story, a very terrifying story called Half Souls. So be warned. So once upon a time, there lived a couple named Cynthia and Sam. So they are a very happy couple and they were going on a holiday. But when they are going on a holiday, their car crashed down on an unknown place near a big and ominous house. So it's a very huge and ominous house. So they walked out of the car, and because it was raining, they were going to the house. They were going towards the house. So Cynthia looked at Sam and then at the house. But the house didn't seem like an option she should take. It is because it is very weird and dangerous, she feels. The house stood a few feet off the road. It stood tall, casting a big and ominous shadow, an imposing shadow, on the trees that stood to its right. Lightning struck, boom, boom, and lit up the house for a second. Cynthia grabbed onto Sam's hand. No, Sam. The vines that curled around the house scared her. I don't feel like this is a good place for us, Sam, Cynthia told Sam. Sam looked at her and saw the fear in her eyes, but he smiled and told Cynthia that it was okay. There's no need to fear. I'm with you, Cynthia. It's okay, I'm with you, Cynthia, Sam told Cynthia. He tried to assure her that she was safe with him, because the last house they saw was more than 4 miles back and the road ahead seemed deserted. Their only shelter from the rain was in the house they now stared at. Sam dragged the bags from the car as he continued towards the house. Cynthia tagged along unwillingly. No, please no, she told Sam. And at the house, in the house, a light appeared from on the top of the window. It lingered for a minute, and then it disappeared. Someone is home, Sam said. Someone's home. Cynthia looked at Sam, then at the house, and back at Sam. The light appeared in the window second time. And Sam could see the frame of a woman. He tried to wave at her. Hey, he yelled. But the light disappeared again. As they walked towards the stairs of the house, it was creaking, very, very creaking. Creak, creak, creak. And then Sam knocked on the door of the house. Knock, 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 while Cynthia was looking around them. But when she looked right, she saw a swing, and the swing was swinging up and down, as if someone was sitting on it. But then, as she was looking at the swing, a lightning struck, boom, and she saw a child sitting at the swing, and the child was staring at her. But then the door of the house opened. Sam gasped, huh?
The door swung open, and Cynthia turned to see a woman standing by it. She stood, holding a lamp in her hand and staring at them. Her hair was gray, and her left eye was a mass ball of white tissue. Cynthia stared at the woman. The woman smiled coldly revealing a set of brown teeth. "Welcome to Half Souls Inn," she announced. She shifted to her side, giving Sam and Cynthia a room to walk in. Cynthia looked back at the swing, but couldn't find it. The swing was gone. In its place was a pool of water. Cynthia stared at it in fear. She failed to notice time pass. Sam called Cynthia a second time before she realized they were waiting for her. The woman stared at her calmly. Cynthia looked at Sam, then at the road. The rain was becoming heavy. She hesitated for a moment, then sighed and stepped into the house. The woman closed the door. Inside the house, the woman walked with them to the desk that stood by the stairs. The interior of the house looked a bit pretty. Sam looked at Cynthia and smiled. She smiled back weakly. The woman explained that their electricity supply had a little problem, but would soon be fixed. Sam had no problem with it. He just needed a place to rest his head and change into some dry clothes. By morning of the next day, they will be on their way home. Cynthia looked around her. Lamps on the walls and up the stairs. Underneath each lamp, she saw the portrait of people hanging in frames beside her. Sam reached out of his pocket and rolled out his wallet. He fished inside it for the amount required and paid the woman. As the woman handed the key to Sam, Cynthia saw people in the picture look at them. Oh God. Cynthia gasped as she turned toward Sam, grabbing his arm. The woman said at her coldly. Cynthia wanted to get out of the house, but Sam would not move. "Come on." It was just a light casting shadows, Sam said as they climbed the stairs.
The woman walked before them as she escorted them to their room. Behind her, Cynthia tried to control her feet. At the door, the woman asked if they would need anything. Sam said that they were fine. The woman nodded in understanding. And then she descended the stairs. Sam gently closed the door and turned to look at the room. Yes, the room didn't look bad. Aside from the bed, there was a table behind the wall and a lamp on it. The bed was well made, and the sheets were clean. Cynthia stood by the wall with her arm wrapped around her. Sam smiled at her. She would see that there is nothing to fear. Cynthia saw that Sam's mind was made up. She walked toward the bedroom to take a look at it, while Sam threw the bag on the bed and opened it. "Sweet," Sam called from the room. "I seem to have forgotten my backpack downstairs." Cynthia rushed out of the bedroom as Sam closed the door and descended the stairs. She walked to the door and pulled it open. She was not going to stay alone in the room. Yes, she was still scared. She was still in fear. Instead of stairs, a brick wall stood before Cynthia. She stepped back into the room, looking around her. A portrait hung on the wall by the bed. The woman in it stared directly at her. Cynthia stepped to her right and watched the woman stare move with her. Terrified, she walked backwards. Further into the room, the woman still stared at her. Cynthia stopped. Someone stood behind her. On her shoulder, a drop of blood fell, followed by two more. She slowly turned around. Her terrified scream never left her lips. Cynthia fell to the ground, a pile of charred flesh. On the stairs, a new painting appeared with Cynthia's face on it.
Downstairs, Sam stood confused. The reception hall was no more. He stood in a hallway longer than the house could possibly accommodate. A very long hallway, an animated hallway. Down the hallway, a baby cried from one of the rooms within the house. Hello? Sam called as he walked down the hallway toward the cry. Along the hallway, Sam found vacant rooms with open doors and blood-stained walls. The cry of the baby became louder. He got to the room and found it open too. Inside the room, a woman attended to the baby. She turned and stared at Sam coldly. Sam apologized for intruding and almost turned back into the hallway. He let his blood stream down the woman's neck and looked closely. Is everything alright? Sam asked as he stepped into the room. A chair stood in his way. He bent down and shifted to the side, then stood erect to look at the woman. The woman and the baby were gone. Sam walked further into the room, confused. He turned back towards the door and gasped. The woman stood before him with the baby in her arms. The door slammed shut. Sam looked at the door, then at her. She looked up from the baby at her arms to Sam's face and smiled coldly. You belong to us now. The lamp of the room went off.